Alright guys, get an update. It's 1:18 in the afternoon on Monday. So I got my Sensine scanner out and I was able to get enough plant tissue now we could scan 3 of these. We scanned the control with biology, the control, turn that around, and then we did the half rate fertilizer. And I scanned all 3 of those with this Sensine leaf scanner, which supposedly pulls samples. And what I did is so to get the nutrient readings, you have to actually do 15 scans. So basically what I did is I just clipped on the plant and did 15 continuous scans with this. Now, I had some private messages asking about the fertilizer and stuff like that. So on the dry distillers ones, anything where I added nutrients like dry distillers or the fertilizer, I basically just took a bucket, measured out so much potting soil, and then I measured in so much fertilizer so they were all equal. And then I just mixed it around and then put it back in the pot. So the fertilizer is not concentrated in a specific area. It's mixed throughout the potting soil. Same with the DDGs. The only thing that was applied directly to the seed was the biology, because we always put that in furrow. And the biology was added with, I put a drop on, because that's the lowest amount I could physically put on, which is probably pretty close to what we would normally put on in a field. We usually do, a quart, and you take a quart divided by 33,000 plants. So I'm guessing a drop would have been plenty. But anyways, that's what I did, and that's what we're working with. So when you do your scans, when you get done with the scan, it'll give you a code. And then basically what it does is it gives you all the readouts. So we have redox, chlorophyll, conductivity, I'm wired over, Brix, and soil pH. Now this one happens to be 6.47, so pretty neutral. And then it goes through all the nutrients here that it tests for right now. Now, mind you, as they progress, they are going to add more stuff to these tests. They're just not quite there yet, but this is what they have for now. So we have total nitrogen, and then it gives you the range on where, average to high and low and stuff like that. Phosphorus, potassium, calcium, sulfur, magnesium, copper, iron, silica, zinc, chloride, boron, manganese, sodium. And then again, it says pH and EC again. Now, when you get down here to the DSS redox, you basically put in, it asks you how many leaves. The lowest setting is 4 to 6 leaves. So that's basically what I put on there because I couldn't go any lower. So this is the summary it gives me. Everything supposedly an optimum level. So that's good to see. Now, what I ended up doing, instead of flipping through all of them, I always like to look at the data side by side. So if you guys want to look at each nutrient measurement side by side, that's what this is. You can just pause the video and look at it. So this is the half rate of fertilizer with no biology, the control, and the control with the biology. Now, if you want to go through one by one, pH just happens to be the control biology is, pretty neutral. You go to Brix. Now, the highest one with Brix is the control with nothing added, so that's kind of interesting to see. And then the control with biology and the fertilizer are pretty much not too far different. Go to redox, they're all pretty much in the same range. Chlorophyll, now the biology one, with the biology added, that one's the highest with 345. Don't know if that's significant yet or not. Connectivity, not exactly sure if there's a lot of difference in those numbers either, but the bio is higher. Nitrogen, so on this one, the biology is actually highest on the nitrogen getting into the plants. So that's interesting to see. There are nitrogen fixators in there, so we'll see how that progresses. Again, there's nothing really alarming on these tests, just some trends that we're noticing right off the bat, which ones are higher and which ones are lower. Because the next one is phosphorus. And phosphorus, the half fertilizer with no bio, is actually the highest reading, which makes sense because we added phosphorus to there. Now, the control is next, and then the lowest is the biology, which could be happening because right now in those pots with the biology, the plants are making those symbiotic relationships. Now, even though it's 335, it's not low. It is just lower than the others. So we will kind of see how that comes out as we progress. Potassium. Now, on this one, it's the opposite. The biology is the highest, control is second highest, and of course the fertilizer, which has potassium added to it, is the lowest. So that's also interesting. Calcium. So the control with biology is at 571. The control has the most calcium in the plant at 1035. And then the lowest is the fertilizer. Go down to magnesium. Magnesium, the biology is the lowest. The control is the highest at 340. And then the biology, the fertilizer is in the middle, just a little bit better than the biology one. Copper. This one was kind of interesting because on the charts, the copper on the control was down too low, and the copper on the fertilizer was really high. But then the control on the biology, copper on the biology was pretty much in the middle. It was probably high middle, but it was still almost in the green. So, or towards the top end of the green, maybe in the orange. Iron, we're seeing better iron in the biology compared to the control and the half. Silica, we're a little bit higher with the biology compared to the other two. Zinc, they're 4 to 5, so they're pretty much close. Now, chloride, I'm not exactly sure what that really means or tells us, but it's pretty interesting because the fertilizer and the control with biology are up in the 800s, and the control is at a 500. So I guess we'll see. And then boron, not much difference. Manganese, we're higher on that one with the biology, but the control is the lowest. And then the fertilizer is kind of in the middle. And then sodium. So on the sodium test, I noticed that the first two here were a little bit in the high. Now on this one, let's see here if I have that one open. Yeah, control with biology. So we go to the sodium, and on the sodium we're in the green, which is probably good because I'm guessing too much sodium can hurt you. So but yeah, so you get all these ranges. So like this is the biology display, so the boron's right in the middle. Manganese is kind of low, but it's also reading the best out of all three of them, and it's almost in the green or just barely. So that's kind of cool. Chloride, the two of them were in the 800s, so they're towards the top end of the range. And zinc, so the biology was basically the middle of the pack for the zinc, but yet we're still high. Silica, we were the highest, but we're still, like I said, in the green.